Day was voted the best solo of the year. And I have to say, again, it's George Lynch. His freaking playing is amazing. Now, if you don't know, George right now has a band called, I mean, he's still doing his Lynch Mob or George Lynch solo project, whatever he's calling his stuff now. But he hooked up and created a power group called KXM. Which I'm trying to get on vinyl. I gotta go hit my record store, see if they can order it for me, because it's a must-have. And it's a power trio featuring George Lynch on guitar, as Ray Luzier, who was on, what's that infamous band? It's not one of those bands that I listen to, but phenomenal drummer. I can't think of it. I'm having a brain fart moment today. Because like I said, I am in Jubilee, and I'll explain in a second. But it also has the infamous Doug Pinnick of King's X. And this power trio is phenomenal. I definitely recommend you go out and get their debut album called KXM. I'm understanding that a new album follow-up is that solo. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be mad if I say this, but if I had to choose Eddie Van Halen or George Lynch, don't cringe, because I know there's a lot of Van Halen fans out there, but there's no way I'm taking Eddie. I'm taking George. Sorry. I just like the way he plays a lot better. He's faster. Plus, I already know the baggage you get with Eddie Van Halen. You don't get that with George Lynch. Now, Don Dokken is still doing the Dokken thing. Great vocalist. Obviously, the lyric content on these type of albums, like the Rats and the Motley Crues and the Cinderellas and the Black and Blues and the Warrants and the Poison, they're all in the same vein about girls, hot girls, fucking girls. Hey, why not? You're hot? Let's tap it. So my Jubilee, as disheartening as this may come across, but I don't have to rip the Band-Aid off my marriage. I was dreading it because of her overburdening alcoholic problem, but she has decided to move to Nebraska, and she's doing the work for me, which is great. I wish her all the best. I don't have any ill will. People have to do what they have to do to make themselves happy. Happiness is within you. And yes, I do have a song that will be on the new album called Happiness. And it's something that you have to find within your inner soul. And especially as you guys have heard on a past episode, as I've explained my plight with my soon-to-be ex-wife, you can't make somebody do something that they're not willing to do, or not willing to address, or not willing to admit a problem to, which is why a lot of folks who get hooked on a substance of some sort go down that spiraling hole, i.e., when was the last time you heard an album from Days of the New? I want to do a Days of the New, but I haven't been able to get any of those albums on vinyl either. There's a guy who was on that program. What was that program about addiction, how they try to get you off? Again, I'm having a senior moment because I'm in a different mindset right now, but so with that being said, I wish her all the best. I know my buddy wants me to move closer. I'm going to go check out an apartment opportunity, but I'm probably going to stay right where I'm at. Gives me a lot more room in my apartment. I could do a little bit more with my place the way I would like it to be. Let's listen to some melody though, because I'm not slipping away. Yes, I play air guitar on every freaking solo. Because if you can't get hooked into how he just grabs you, I don't know, again, what planet you're on. Because if you're a music fanatic, as I am, you understand what I'm saying here. But yeah, so, you know, happiness is something that's within you, and I guess at 50, and I get a brand new clean slate, which I will thank my soon-to-be ex-wife for that she made a difficult decision for me. Simple. I don't have to hurt nobody's feelings. I know my feelings are not hurt. I'm actually hoping that this will help her. She's going back to her hometown, Nebraska, and hopefully she'll be closer to her mom, and who knows? You can only wish the best for people, regardless. So the lightning strikes again for me. I get a clean slate. My canvas is pure white. No, it's not racist. But I get to put whatever colors I want on this palette and decide how I want to play it. I'll make my patio my painting platform where I can get back to my oil paintings, which will be great. I'm so looking forward to that. There'll be no interference of noise in the house, so I can seriously start writing and start recording, which I'm looking forward to do, because I probably won't be able to afford TV because it's too freaking expensive, and I don't know if I'm even going to have internet in the house either, which will make me focus on some more of the homegrown artistic things that I like to do that gets hindered because I had a long day at work and I just want to plop myself and watch TV, which has been a lot of what I've been doing lately, only because of my shoulder issues. I'm really limited to a lot of things I can do, but I'm hoping that the pain that I'm feeling right now is just pain I gotta deal with for a little bit, and then I don't have to go to surgery. But if I do have to go to surgery, then I gotta do what I gotta do, because I gotta get this back on point. I mean, I can play guitar a little bit, not for a long extended period of time because of the weight. Hold on a second, it's George. I love these tasty licks. Man, I wish I could play that fast. I got bassist hands. I got art fingers. They don't go that fast. So you gotta know what your limits are. But you create within your skill set. And when you do create the best thing you can. Make sure it's good. Make sure it's tasty, which I think based on my past musical releases that you folks have dug it. I know Jay has, otherwise I wouldn't have this program right now when he was doing his reviews of 2015 musical finds and albums of the year, putting me right up there with Chris Cornell's, which I will eventually play that album. I kind of decide what I'm going to do for my show based on my mood. And again, when this album came out, I was in Jubilee. So I'm playing something that emulates how I feel. Jubilee. So let's listen to side 2. I hope you're enjoying this album because I know I love this album. So yeah, Don Dokken is still putting albums out there, and granted now with the revitalized of bringing back the 80 bands, and it's kind of like glorified cover bands nowadays. I think you've all heard this one before. So Don Dokken got a second life, and luckily because of George Lynch, a lot of guitar players came up that can play what he plays. But there's still no one like George Lynch. Even when you listen to his stuff on KXM, nobody plays like him. Nobody. I don't care what you say. I mean, granted, if you take lessons, you can learn how to play, based on your skill set and how far you can take your talent, play anybody. You know what I mean? You can emulate anything. Copying someone is easy if you put your mind to it and if you have, the physical capability and mindset to do it, right? So he was able to find guitar players that can, step in and slide in. I will tell you though, I have seen, Dokken shows without George or without Jeff Pilson, and it doesn't sound like the same Dokken. I can tell you that right now, it doesn't. Jeff Pilson right now is the bass player for Foreigner. So, also, you can find Jeff Pilson as, he was in that band that they had that movie called Rockstar, Steel Dragon. He plays in that movie the bass player of Steel Dragon. That's Jeff Pilson. And so he was one of the masterminds of the Dokken brand that they created before they all went their separate ways. Mick Brown, I think, is still his drummer. You can't find a more solid guy in the pocket than Mick Brown. I mean, granted, I'm not gonna say that he's Neil Peart, okay? I'm also not going to say that he can't play like Neil Peart. But when you're looking to put a project together and you need a solid guy that's going to be there always in the pocket, that's your guy, Mick Brown. So overall, this band was a powerhouse to begin with. But you didn't know that back in the day, you just knew them as the band. Here's George.